everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post 3 videos a week. I post a lot of 3-day foundation wear test, full face first impressions, things like that. If that sounds like your kind of content, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on mine. In today's video, we are going to be creating this look right here. While I do a little chit chat, get ready with me. We are getting ready for absolutely nothing. I just thought it would be fun for you to watch me do my makeup while I talk my head off. So if you would like to hear me literally chat for an hour, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's probably going to be pretty long. Grab your snacks and let's get into it. I just have some stuff here that I've used either on my channel or I've had it for a while. It's not new. Yes, most of these things you should have seen me try on my channel at least once. There's only one new thing, and that the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Moisturizer, the skin tint one. I purchased during one of the Ulta sales, and I have not gotten to use it yet, but I'm not going to really talk about the makeup, or I'm going to try not to, because I want to work on doing my makeup and chatting at the same time, which is difficult for my brain to do. So I kind of want to just do like a chatty get ready with me, not really talk about the products much. Obviously you will see me using them. I will list them below, all of that good stuff. But yeah, let's talk about why I wanted to do this and why I'm terrible at this. So see, thing number 1, I'm so terrible at this because when I'm like talking, I'm focusing on the talking and all the tangents that I want to go on, and I'm not very good at like doing the makeup at the same time. By the way, I got the shade 4N. I don't know if I chose the color or if that was like the lightest color available. Depends on how much coverage it has. But anyways, so I love chatty get ready with me kind of videos, and I want to chat with people who love makeup also, you know. So it's like I want to do this. I just like, my head is so much like, I'm obsessed with makeup and I could talk about only makeup. So when I'm like looking at all these like new products and everything, or trying products, I have thoughts about them. And because this is a makeup channel, obviously, hopefully some of you guys are interested in the makeup insight conversation, you know what I mean? So I talk about the makeup, but which I don't want to stop talking about the makeup, but I watch other people and I just feel like you get to know them so much better and learn about them. And I just feel like I've been on YouTube now for almost a year. What? And I just don't feel like if a stranger were to watch me and only watch my YouTube, not follow me on Instagram or anything like that, they might not get a real sense of me, and I don't know. I kind of want you to. I want this channel to be like me, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm like hiding or anything, it's just like I'm so like don't have I think I have ADHD, guys. So we're gonna talk about that as well. But I think I have ADHD, like legitimately believe I have ADHD. But I probably won't get a diagnosis because I don't know, it depends, because a lot of doctors actually require like family history. So like you have to either show like old report cards from when you were like in 3rd grade, which I don't know if we kept those, or you have to like have a family member like fill out stuff. And just like, I do not have the kind of relationship with my mother where I could share with her that I even thought I had ADHD. And there are a lot of other family members that probably could vouch for the things that I would say, or like, you know, times in my life or whatever. But I don't think, I say this like it's, you know, no one will understand, but I'm sure that so many people will understand. But like, I'm sure no one in my family would want to hear that, because then it would like point the finger at them and they'd be like, well, if these things mean you have ADHD, then I have ADHD. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so then you get diagnosed. You know, they still very much heavily have the stigma around everything. They are from a small town in Ohio. Small town. Small town. But the point of me saying I think I have ADHD is because of this possible ADHD. I find it really hard to, at the same time, it's so hard to focus on one thing and only do one thing, but it is also hard to do multiple things. So like my brain needs enough, like I need enough stimulation. So like doing my makeup, filming the video, that's enough to stimulate my brain. So like conversing, whichever is grammatically correct there. On top of that is like my brain is like firing on all engines. And when I'm editing my videos, a lot of the times, sorry, my mouth just like moved way too fast for my brain, moved too fast for my mouth. Anyways, sometimes when I'm editing my videos, I have to cut out like whole sections of what I'm saying because I never finish my sentence, and it's not something that's comprehensible. Like you would not know what I was saying, you know? So sometimes I'll like pop in little things to kind of help you understand what I was saying and whatnot, but I don't know, I just feel like, especially when I'm chatty, I end up having to like cut the stuff out because I never really finish my sentences and all of that. And I just want, I don't want you to be confused or frustrated. Like I don't want you to watch and be like, oh my gosh, just spit it out. Because I understand that feeling, because I too have that feeling sometimes. You know, like me thinking 10 steps ahead of someone and being like, okay, well, they're gonna say this, just say it. You know what I mean? Something like that, like especially in conversation. And I know people think that that's rude. Like I obviously wouldn't say like, just say it. But if you were having a conversation with me and we were talking about like a topic, like we knew we were on the same page talking, and then I kind of like picked up what you were saying and kind of cut you off to like finish your sentence type thing. Like I know some people think that something like that is rude, whereas me, it's like I'm fast forwarding this conversation, not necessarily, and probably not at all because I'm trying to be rude or end the conversation, but because I'm so excited and thinking forward and, you know, about it, that it just becomes like, let's keep going, let's riff, let's do this, let's chat, you know what I mean? I am just like, I don't know. And it's, I don't know if you have gotten diagnosed as an adult and you want to chat about it, you can follow me on Instagram and we can DM if you don't want to do it like publicly. But if you want to, comment and let me know like what was the experience like. Did your family have to get involved? Because like there's so many things in my life that I've just always been like, this is the kind of person I am, like this is my personality. And like all of those things are traits of ADHD. Like every single, what is it called? Parent-teacher conference that my parents ever went to, every single one, they said, Amy's doing great, real smart, all A's, but she talks too much. She's distracting everybody else in the class. Every single parent-teacher conference. Never thought to think about ADHD. Nope, never crossed their minds. And then, I mean, like, I never did homework. In high school or in junior high, never did a single stitch of homework. Not once. College, a little tiny bit, but not really. And I was just, like, good at tests. And my tests, I didn't, like, comprehend what I was doing. I just It was all gut feeling. I took my test based on gut feeling. Like, who does that? Is that a thing? And I was always like, I had to finish my test first. Like, I had to do it really, really fast. The only detention I ever got in my life, well, actually, I got 2 things that might count as detention. One, I was like sent out into the hall, and one was an actual detention. The one where I was sent out into the hall was I was writing on my desk. I wrote the lyrics to I Love Rock and Roll. That was when Britney Spears came out with it. And I wrote them on my desk, and I didn't know I was doing it. I was mindlessly like daydreaming and just writing the lyrics on my desk for some reason. And one time in 4th grade, I got kicked out of my class, kicked out of a test because I was humming. And she came over and she was like, Amy, stop humming. And I was like, I'm humming? And I guess she thought I was talking back to her, but I had no clue that I was humming. And in high school, I got a detention, I want to say, for just talking too much. It was in math class. I was always in advanced math classes. Math is my favorite subject in school. I know I am an oddball, but I really just like something that's like, it's a formula. No matter what you throw at me, I just got to know the formula and I'm good, you know? Whereas like history, it's like I have to have a concept of like time and space and think about things like that, and I can't. I'm really bad at like history, language arts. I was terrible at. That's what we called like English literature, where you learn about like grammar and writing. I also got in trouble for, what's it called? Plagiarizing? When I was like, I literally learned how to cite things from you, teacher. I did exactly what you told me, or at least what I interpreted that you told me. And then you're gonna go tell me that I plagiarized? But it was only in like 7th grade, which was like the first year that we learned about plagiarism. So I didn't get in trouble like I would have if I were in like 12th grade. So, I don't know, guys. I never understood grammar, like, ever. Like, people would be like, past participle, participle, adverb, and I'd be like, I don't understand what you are saying to me. But then people would be like, you know, find the square root or whatever, find the area of this cube, and I'm like, easy peasy, you know? I don't know. I am probably going to be watching this, editing this, like, you never finished 8 of these sentences. But, you know, maybe I'll keep them in and you guys can see how my noggin works, you know? There is a hair on me I can't handle. These cat hairs, guys. Nah. They're like invisible, but you feel them so intensely. There it is. Hold on. You gotta get the tweezers. Like, that's completely invisible. You cannot see that. And yet, it would ruin my day. Yeah. So, I actually, hold on. I'm sorry, but let's talk about this makeup for a second. That tinted moisturizer is beautiful. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but man, that looks really nice. It's quite a old product, so I didn't think you guys would want like a review or a 3-day wear test on it. I will, of course, put it in a roundup at some point throughout the year, but wow. I'm into that. I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna put on Pat McGrath Nude Venus blush, but I have a question for you guys. When you think of a topic to talk about, if you're like a YouTuber, or I do this even not YouTube related, or when you know you're gonna see someone and you think like, oh, I need to bring up this, you know, can you park that and remember it? Or do you have that conversation right then and there in your head? Because that's what I do. I'll be like, so all day today, I knew that I wanted to film this video today. And so I was like, taking a shower. I'm like, oh, I should talk about this. And then I had that conversation in my head. So now it's gone because my brain thinks that I had that conversation already. Like it doesn't stay there because I did have that conversation. It wasn't with you guys. It was with myself in the shower. But that's just how my brain works. Let me know. I like this color. I think it goes nicely with that the like gold shift in the bronzer. I did a whole video on these Pat McGrath blushes too. I will link it here if you're interested. Also, it is darker in here, by the way. I didn't mention that because I wanted to film this video, but I had back to ADHD, guys. Okay, this is gonna be a very ADHD heavy conversation, I guess, which I didn't plan on, but okay, let's chat about it. In my head, when I want to do something, I think of every step along the way and all of the things that are more important than that thing that I should do first and whatnot. So when I was like, I want to film this, I think, okay, well, hold on, sorry, someone called me. So I was like, okay, I want to film this, but in my head I was like, but you are behind on actually editing videos, so why don't you spend that time that you have editing videos instead, because you do have one that's supposed to go up tomorrow that you haven't edited. But I was like, no, I want to film this. I have, like a lot that I've been like building up today, thinking about, so I want to film this. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to, I keep makeup, like all the stuff that's on my desk here, like my Shop My Stash stuff and all of my brushes and stuff sits on top of this dresser when I'm not filming, because the desk I'm at folds up and goes in the closet. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to clean off that dresser. I'm gonna have to pull the desk out. I'm gonna have to get my lights out. I'm gonna have to move. I have like a basket that has shoes that kind of sits in this area when I'm not filming. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to move that. And I have a few things that I wanted to return from Amazon that were sitting on the thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to move that. I'm gonna have to move that. Don't forget to turn off the fans, because you can always hear the fans when I accidentally leave them on. Don't forget to feed the cat so that he doesn't meow the whole time, blah, blah, blah. Then I saw a massive spider on my window. I did take a picture of it, so I will insert that here. This kind of spider, you can't tell because the picture, it doesn't do it justice. But I did put my finger in the picture. You could see the size. They love my window. That specific window gets those spiders all year round. And like, if I open that window, there's just dead spider bodies because they die there. What was I talking about? Okay, yes. So I was thinking of all the things that I would have to do to film. So then I decided I would only take out my ring light. So I only have one light out right now. So sorry, it's a little bit darker than normal, but I wanted to film, so I did it. And I don't think the lighting is too bad. It's just not like as even as I would like it, because the ring light can only do basically my face, whereas normally I have like two big soft boxes as well that kind of light up my background a little bit, and then like the sides of my face as well. So if I look darker, that's the long story of why. So that was like the fastest face of makeup I've ever done. Let's move on to the eyes. I'm gonna use this palette. I have not used since I used it in like my first impressions. So, oh fudge. My back, so much pain, guys. So much pain. Is it because I sit at a desk for a living? Maybe. Is it because I have huge chest? Maybe. Is it because I'm overweight and out of shape? Maybe. It's a great combination of all of those things. And I've been truly considering a reduction. And then I saw this girl on TikTok post that she had a reduction, and within 6 months they grew back. I know that would be me. I know that would be me. So now I'm like, well, that was my last hope. Now I'm all out of hope. So I guess I'm not gonna do that. I guess I just have to like get in shape. I don't know. But yeah. What? I don't know where I am in any kind of conversation. I'm mixing Houston and Philly. But yeah, so probably have ADHD. This video honestly is probably proof. I didn't get in trouble much in school. I got really good grades, even though I did not do my homework. I did not do any reading. I never read a book. Did you guys do they still have that like reading test thing where you like have to read so many books a quarter or whatever semester, and you take tests and they give you like points, and like Moby Dick has like the most points ever, and that's the book I chose to read. You know what I did? I just rented it from the library and then took the test, guys. It's so funny because when I describe like my personality and attitude towards school and how I was in school, it seems like I was like a fun kid who was like, F this place, you know, but I wasn't. I was a goody two shoes. I was in every single club. I was in Key Club. I was in student council, French club, art club, photography club, physics club. Ooh, anything that we could be in, I was in, because I didn't do sports and I just felt like that would help me get into college. I don't think it mattered at all. But yeah, and I got good grades because my mom said I wasn't allowed to get B's. So that's how she parented, if you were curious. She didn't give me alternatives. She didn't give me like what would happen if. It was just, this is what it will be like. And then, you know, whatever your little brain came up with is what your punishment would be, because you'd never find out, because you would always get straight A's. So I did get straight A's, except for in gym, because I refused to change, because I had these huge boobs and I was terribly embarrassed and ashamed, and I did not like them at all. But anyways, yeah, I was a good kid. I wouldn't say like teacher's pet, because I don't think any of the teachers liked me. But I feel like maybe I wanted to be a teacher's pet, you know? But yeah, I took all the classes. I was I was in the top 10% of my class. I was number 26 in my class. So yeah, I wanted the 25th spot, because if you were in the top 25, you got something special. I don't know what you got, I don't remember now. So I fought with this girl named Maggie for the 25th spot, but she took one more AP class than me, so she got it. So even if I had gotten like better grades overall, that extra AP class really helped her. But looking back at it now, it means absolutely nothing. I of course didn't go to like Stanford or anything to where it would have mattered. Going into Harlem now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm 31, guys. I will be 32 this year, but I am still so, oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like I'm still so jaded about school, and maybe that's because I still owe, you know, so much money to my student loans. I don't like to talk to anybody about things where I know that I just have a bad attitude about it. Like, my bad attitude does not mean anything, and if I'm such a Libra, guys, like such a Libra. I'm like very level-headed and logical about things. So like I don't want to sway you in a way that I know is just based on like a personal situation and not the whole system, which I mean, like, obviously the system's not great, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm sure that someone out there is like screaming at the screen like, yes, hopefully. But like, gosh, I don't know. I'm smoking this out like so much, like I don't know what I'm doing, guys. These brushes are doing a great job of making it look like I know what I'm doing, but not paying attention is like difficult for my psyche. Okay, hold on. Just putting the pigment down, and I'm gonna go over it with this bad boy, and then I can chat. Okay, so I feel like I personally, there were a lot of great things that happened in college, in school, that I really loved, that really helped me, that were really, useful. But like, I don't know, like the debt, guys. The debt. I don't know. I can't rationalize it yet. So I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll talk to people about it. But I don't want to make any kind of swaying statements or be any kind of influence regarding school, primarily college, because I know that I personally have such, resentment towards the institution. So I don't like to talk about it, even though I just talked about it for a really long time. I was talking about, before I so rudely interrupted myself, my back pain. Guys, this video is going to be off the wall. I'm so sorry. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah, my back pain is like so intense and so confusing, because it's like, okay, well, do I have an issue with my posture? So my muscles need to be, exercised, or do I have like an actual bone issue, or do I have like an actual muscle issue, or do I have like fibromyalgia, or what? I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I have a slipping rib. I don't know if you know what that is, but there is a rib in my back that likes to go out of place. Ribs, once they find a way out, they continue to do so the rest of your life. So if you're under 25, you're lucky. But so my rib just like causes a lot of issues. So, oh my god, these shadows, guys, they're so pretty. I don't know if it's coming across how incredibly smooth these look, but they look so good. But my back hurts, and before the pandemic, I don't know if I've mentioned this before or not. It's starting to feel familiar, but I don't know if I have. And maybe I've mentioned it and then not kept it in the video as well. So I'm going to talk about it. But before the pandemic, I would get a deep tissue massage once a month, paid for by my HSA, because of my chronic pain, because that helped me. My issue, I think, is that my smaller back muscles and muscles around my ribs and all those little tiny things in my neck and my spine that hold it all together are so weak that my larger muscles have to do a lot of work, and they have all this extra strain from sitting at a desk, having bad posture, and having a huge chest. So I've got these like huge delts. Like my delts are so huge, like it kind of hurts to like do that because they're taking up so much space between my shoulder blades. But all my little muscles are so weak and stretched out from all the pulling forward, right? So sometimes my muscles spasm, and I think that spasm, that tightening, pulls that rib out, and then I end up having like issues where I have to go to the chiropractor. So I'm used to going to the chiropractor like getting a massage once a month to help the muscles from spasming. See, look, I can't do two things at once. To help the muscles from spasming, and then kind of seeing a chiropractor just like every 6 months or so, just to make sure everything's kind of where I need it to be, especially because of the slipping rib, which can be like, you know, I don't want my body to get used to the rib being in the wrong spot or anything. But because of the pandemic, I have not gone, and it's been a painful experience. I do not seek any sort of pain management. I do not go to like a regular physician or any kind of specialists regarding the matter, because I know 100% that the first and only thing they're going to say to me is,
lose weight. That'll solve your problem. Lose weight. Come back after you've lost weight.
It's like, not everyone's problem is just having fat, dude. Like, so I don't go. And I mean, when I go to my chiropractors, I've gone to 3 different chiropractors now. None of them have ever said, this could be because of your weight. They've all said, this is because of your job. Quit your job. Like, one doctor actually told me that if I keep my job, I'll be putting his kids through college. So, you know, exciting things. But I've been like so just sore, and obviously staying at home, I've been so much less active. Like, I was never active. Don't let me fool you, but so much less active. So it has not helped anything. And neither has like getting more into makeup, honestly, because then I'm like sitting here hunched over and using like the arm that is in pain. So whatever, but I love it. I will not stop just because of my pain. Beauty is pain, guys. Pain is beauty, whatever. I always see people like post these like all matte looks like this, like a very soft glam moment, and I'm always so jealous because I can never stop when I get done with the mattes. Like, I'm always like, okay, well, let me just put this one shimmer on top. I'm like a shimmeraholic. So let's put mascara on. I don't know. I feel like I was going like really fast there for a second. I've kind of slowed down. Let's talk about the thing where like I have conversations with myself again. Do you guys do that? When I was 7 plus 3, when I was like 10 to 12-ish or whatever, my sister died when I was 9. My sister had a daughter, so I have a niece. She's 7 years younger than me, so she was like 2 at the time of the accident. So around the time that I was like 10, my mom would get my niece on the weekends because she had like parental rights at that point. So we lived in Ohio and she lived in Kentucky, so we would drive like an hour to go get her on the weekends. And when I was in the car, I would sit in the back seat. Even though there was a spot in the front seat, I could have sat in the front seat. I would sit in the back seat and I would like practice conversations with other people. Like people at school, confrontation I wanted to have with a boyfriend I had, you know, whatever. So I would sit back there and have these conversations with myself, like not out loud, in my head, just. And then I would never do things. Like, I am like queen of thinking I responded to you and not responding to you because I responded in my head. But I do like that, like full blown. Like, people will be like, I don't know. People won't even know that they're expecting a response from me. I will see something in a show that reminds me of my cousin. Then I will have the conversation in my head about how I told her about it and blah, 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 blah. And then when I talk to her and I'm like, you know, just like that one show, and she'll be like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh yeah. We didn't have that conversation. I had that conversation. Whenever I'm doing it, though, I don't think of it, like, I don't feel like I'm having the conversation. Like, I think of it as, like, you know, we're working this out. We're going to have this conversation really good. You know, you're making a lot of great points. But in reality, my brain thinks of it as, like, check mark, done. We did that. You know? Do you guys do that? Guys, I'm coming up on the 40-minute mark, and I've legit been talking the whole time. I'm so sorry. Let me put my mascara on. Hold on. You know what else I was supposed to do today? I was supposed to prepare my notes for my next foundation roundup, which I could talk about, like, how I feel about the foundations, like, without, like, because I do keep notes and, like, I remember, but I don't know, like, gosh, what the exact claims are, how many shades it comes in, the price, all of that. I'd like to have that, all that information that you guys see. If you've never seen one of my foundation roundups, it's got like a pretty standard format where I write up the, like, every bit of information that I possibly can, and I have it on the screen for you while I'm talking about it, but all of that stuff I have to figure out ahead of time so I can talk about it in the actual thing. Boo, 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 boo. Because I find it easiest to receive information when I see it and hear it. You know? It uses enough of my brain for me to pay attention. Another thing that I think points to ADHD. Like, I always say, like, I don't watch, like, trash TV. I don't watch, like, reality TV of any kind at all. The closest thing to reality TV that I've ever kind of gotten into are two things. One, TV shows where people sing, because I love singing, and anything where I can watch people sing live, I love. But I hate, like, how much it becomes about the judges, and how they, like, try to make a backstory about this person, and how they have people there just to make fun of and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to see all that. I want to see just people singing that are good at singing. Like, I could watch a video of Lady Gaga singing live forever. Like, her, like, rehearsing, like, that's the kind of reality TV I would want to watch. Or, like, renovating, like, you know, doing stuff around the house and whatever, because I love that as well. But, like, you know, that, like, pregnant teenagers show, Teen Mom, is that what it's called? All those MTV shows, I never got into those. They're Kardashians, I never really watched that. I saw, like, that was on a lot, and, like, it was very popular, so I've seen, like, bits and episodes of it, but never really watched that. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't do enough for me. I don't love movies. I do like movies. Like, I enjoy going to the movies, like, having that whole event of, like, getting ready and going out and sitting in a big comfy chair and having the noise really, really loud and the screen really, really big, and you kind of are immersed into the movie. But, like, regularly movies, I'm just like, okay, I'll watch it. My boyfriend's really into movies, so, like, I watch all these movies all the time that he's always recommending and wanting me to watch. So I'm like, okay, but I am a TV series person. I love things that have, like, 20 episodes a season, more than 5 seasons. Let me binge that. Let me sink my teeth into it. But I like things that are involve drama, mystery, cops, detectives, medical things. But it's got to have, like, lots of characters and moving parts all the time. Keep me on my toes, keep me interested, keep me questioning, keep me wanting more. You know? So, like, the limited series Dark, which I've highly recommended on my channel before, that is, like, top notch, like, because it's in German. So that's already going to be holding more of my attention because I have to read everything that they're saying. And it's also, like, an a very intense show. I highly recommend if you need something to tickle your brain, you know? I'm going to use Nude Venus Lip as well from Pat McGrath. I love this little guy. Going to use a little bit of Endless Cacao. But what I was saying is I love shows like that. Like, gosh, can I think of another one? Like, I like Grey's Anatomy, but I think most of the reason that I watch Grey's Anatomy is because I've watched it since the beginning, so it's just kind of like a comfort show for me, rather than something that really, really, like, draws me in. The show Hannibal, that was really good. It's no longer on, sadly, but that was a really good show. I think there's a show, I think it's called Harlow. Really liked that. I don't know how to describe it, but I like things that are meaty, things that I can really bite into, things that have like a lot of content, a lot of moving parts, a lot, I don't know, you have to like investigate yourself. Like, you are trying to figure it out yourself the whole time as well. And I like when it's difficult. Like, I remember, oh gosh, what grade was I in? Like 7th or 8th grade was when The Ring came out, like the original one. And my friend, I was in this like really stupid friend group. I mean, not that the people were stupid, but we were just like stupid. Like, we had like nicknames for each other. And my one friend, Stacy, she was Cherry Bottom. Man, middle school was weird. But we went over to our friend Amanda's house and we watched The Ring, and I had never seen it before. I think that someone in the room had seen it before, but not me. It wasn't me. I had never seen it. And I was sitting on the floor and I was just like guessing every single thing that was going to happen. Like, I was like, oh, and then he's gonna come out here. Oh, and then that picture's gonna move. Oh, and then blah, 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 blah. And literally everything happened. And they were like, Amy, if you have seen this movie, please stop spoiling it. And I was like, no, I'm just reading the cues that the movie is giving me. I'm solving the problem before it happens. I'm very much like that in movies. I'm so sorry if you've ever watched a movie with me, or if you are ever going to watch a movie with me. I will be constantly like, that person is also in these 5 other shows, and that person looks just like this person, and I think that this person was in a movie where they wore a top hat. I don't remember the movie. That's me. But also, I am the kind of person that is trying to guess what's going to happen next the whole way through, out loud. So, I'm so sorry for anybody that ever has to watch a movie with me. I understand how that would be frustrating. My boyfriend likes to just like soak in the movie as it happens to him. And I'm like, this is a game me and the movie are playing. And then I will constantly be like, I'm good, aren't I? I'm good, right? So I like shows. I think I like shows because, and I like hour long, like 45-minute long, because I like them to have a lot of meat in them. But I think I like shows because like they can have the plot line of the show as well as the overarching plot line of the season and whatnot. Like, there's multiple things going on. Whereas movies can have multiple storylines and whatever, but it's just not as breadcrumby in the way, like, if you watch 20 episodes of something and then you go back and watch the first, which I also don't do, I can't watch things over and over. I'm sorry. I am a one-time girl. Unless it's been like 5 years and I forget it existed. Yeah, because I'm trying to solve something. And also, if you like turn something back on, I'm like, oh, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I remember this. You might as well turn it off. You might as well turn it off at that point. But I think that's why I like shows, because they can give you like little breadcrumbs throughout it, you know? And then at the end, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even pick that up. Wow. So, that was a lot of chatting, guys. And this is my finished face. I really like this look. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really like it. I I don't think the lighting does it justice because I am so lit in front of you that I look so pale, which I'm pale, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'm this pale. Let's see if I can, like, I don't know. I wonder if I know how to edit this in post. Probably not. Dude, I saw Jamie Page post, like, she color corrects her videos, and she was like, before color correction and after color correction. I was like, wow. How do I color correct? Every time I try to search up ways to color correct, it's literally like, download my pack. And I'm like, you mean your pack that's gonna make me look whiter than the wall behind me, which I already do? No, because everything's like bright white, which, like, I get the aesthetic, but with my skin tone, doesn't really work. But I'm gonna have to stop talking now. Like, now I don't even know how to shut up. Wow, I've already learned how to chit chat and get ready with me. I'm such a quick learner. That's very weird. I gotta shut up. I have to shut up now. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you stuck through this whole thing. If you did, please leave me a orange heart emoji if you have orange heart emojis. I don't know, does everybody have those? Leave me an orange heart emoji if you made it all the way to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below anything about what I said today. Do you relate? Do you not relate at all? Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!